So I usually say feedback is a gift, even when it's hard to receive. And so my best example of this would be I was taken through a leadership development program, and as part of that process, we had a 360, but it was like not a normal 360. It was the normal parts, your upward, your sort of direct reports, your manager. Mine also included my cousin, who was basically a sister, a roommate. We'd gone through elementary through college together. She was in my 360. An older cousin who was a mentor to me, and at the time, my 10-year-old daughter. So, in the spirit of getting a lot of feedback and difficult feedback, and this company that did these 360s knew that they were going to push on pain points, and so the delivery of that was in a corporate apartment in New York City, so that you could emote in any way that you would naturally emote when this feedback was shared. And there are two things that still sting to this day that I remember from that conversation. So the first was a really large gap in terms of how my team viewed me and this category of others, right? The others would be people who were in your orbit, who are peers but not direct reports. My team like felt that I cared for them. We had a good connection. They felt like I advocated for them. The others, as they were grouped as others on the report, felt like I was transactional, that I had my own agenda and nothing else mattered. And so I knew that if I ever wanted to have a role with a larger scope of influence, you need the others, the people in your orbit, to be your biggest fans. And so that was a pretty big piece of feedback for me that I had to adjust. And the second one that I remember was um, this might be driven by I had my first daughter in college. And so I entered the workforce with a 3-year old. So I've always had to be uber efficient. And the flip side of efficiency is transactional and maybe callous, right? Because you're just trying to get through things and like keep moving. And so those two strings of feedback of the others aren't quite feeling you, Renee. They're not, you've got some work to do there. And it's because you're coming across as transactional was, whether or not I agreed or not, which, I didn't push back on it because I could see the truth in that. I had to work on it. So that probably still, I remember that to this day, that long afternoon in New York.